Uh, Good morning. Today we are going to discuss characterization in The Way of the World. We have discussed the summary of the play and we know the basic contours of the plot of the play. Now, one of the usual aspect which comes under criticism about restoration comedies is that these kind of plays they do not provide well delineated characters. Means characters are mere shadows in these plays, and the main emphasis of the writers is on the scenes, the brilliant witty dialogues, and representation of the restoration society of the time. Usually the morals belonging to upper class of the society, they come under severe criticism. They are portrayed, and the writer is more interested in presenting brilliant witty dialogues of the characters instead of portraying well delineated characters. So let us try to understand whether this criticism is valid in context of The Way of the World or not. Do we have some interesting characters there? Are these characters real? Or do they seem to be real? Are they round characters? Means are they like common people who live their life in human societies, or they are simply caricatures, one-dimensional characters, or two-dimensional characters, or flat characters, which is usually considered a bad art of characterization. So let us try to find out what kind of characterization is involved in the play The Way of the World. Restoration comedy has been accused of paying more attention to mores and morals of restoration society. Mores and morals means ethics, moral values, ethics of restoration society, than to development of characters. So it is a usual criticism that restoration comedy pays more emphasis to the ethics and morals of the contemporary society instead of developing round characters. Since the Restoration Committee was more concerned about the contemporary manners of the society, this charge hold grounds to some extent. So this criticism seems to be valid to a certain point because Restoration Committee was more concerned about representing the contemporary society. A very thin slice of the society, but still, nevertheless, the society of the times. Yet, to outrightly means to totally reject the characters of this genre means kind of group, as sketchy. Sketchy means something which is not fully developed, sketchy, just hints, just lines, and two-dimensional would be a biased and harsh judgment. So we are not going to agree with this criticism that there are no good characters in restoration committees, particularly in the present committee. We cannot say that there are no good characters, there are not well developed characters. Congreve particularly has been praised for his characters who live in the pages of the play and in our memory. Congreve particularly is famous for presenting characters which seem to be real, which are like real human beings, and they seem to be an apt representation of people in all their eccentricities and people in all their generalities. These two traits are considered to be part of a good character. A good character should be unique, he should be individual, he should have his own personal traits which make him different from other people. At the same time, the character should be universal, means there should be something common in him which he or she can share with all humanity. Means the audience should be able to identify with the character as one of his own. So a good character must be individual as well as universal. And of course, we find some of these traits in the characters of Congreve. Thus, the criticism of Lehunt that Congreve creates nothing but a set of heartless, fine ladies and gentlemen coming in and out, saying witty things at each other and buzzing in some maze of intrigues does not hold ground. So we do not agree with Lehunt, who says that Congreve simply creates heartless, fine ladies, a caricature, a type who just say witty things to each other and who simply indulge in intrigues, in planning against each other. So we of course do not agree with this criticism that Congreve's characters are simply types and they do not represent universal passions and general feelings. We do not agree to this kind of criticism. Congreve gives a realistic portrayal of men and women belonging to aristocratic society of his times. So of course his vision is a bit limited because he focuses on only the upper layer of the society, the upper crust of the society. Lower layers of society, commoners are usually absent in his plays. Though there is unmistakable element of exaggeration in his plays, exaggeration इस चीज को बढ़ा चढ़ा के कहना, yet they remain true to human reality. Of course, there is some element of exaggeration, but at the same time, most of the time, they remain true to human reality. His characters belonging to same strata means part, hissa, of the society are different from one another. Most of the characters, they belong to upper classes, but still there is difference between them. At the same time, Congreve is at home delineating both men and women. And Congreve is also brilliant in portraying both male and female characters. Means he simply does not emphasize on male characters and neglects female characters. He gives equal space to both of them. Even among the upper class society, he is aware of the differentiation between the city gallants and country squires. And of course, he focuses on the aristocratic people, upper class people of English society. But in that upper class society of English people, there is a difference between city gallants and country squire. So his country squire speak in a different manner. They use different kind of language, while the city fashionable people who belong to upper classes, they speak in a different way. They behave in a different way. So even there is a difference between the city gallants and the country squire. One other important feature of Congreve's art of characterization is that Congreve has successfully portrayed both the round and flat type of characters. So round characters are those characters which are three-dimensional characters, means they are more close to life. They are like living people. While flat characters means people who are two-dimensional, people who are simply types, people who are stereotypes in one sense, people with whom it is difficult to identify yourself because you see only one or two aspects of such characters, not the fully grown individual working his part on the stage of life. So, Congreve is able to give some very interesting round characters. At the same time, certain characters of Congreve are flat characters. Thus, we get a complete picture of contemporary society which Congreve has presented in The Way of the World. So, his characters represent different types of people living within the aristocratic layer of the society. Another special quality of this play of Congreve is the dominance of women characters, and he gives very interesting women characters. In nutshell, it can easily be affirmed that as far as Congreve's ability of character portrayal in The Way of the World is concerned, it is absolutely magnificent. So we can praise him for his interesting character portrayal. He has undoubtedly exhibited a masterly approach in this regard. He shows the skill of a master in creating characters and has presented a realistic picture of the contemporary society. So his characters are part of the society. So by giving interesting, brilliant characters, he is able to bring the society of his times before the eyes of the readers. His vision is broad and his characters are true representation of his age. So he is quite comprehensive. You cannot say that his approach is narrow. संकीर्ण नहीं है उसकी अप्रोच, ये कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव, उसका विजन वाइड है. Different type of characters so है, he is able to portray with faithful reality. And these characters represent what were the people of his times were during that time, how they behaved, what were the likes and dislikes, what were their passions, what were the major orientations of their lives. All such things are represented within the play of Congreve, here, The Way of the World. Although Congreve's The Way of the World is considered a brilliant masterpiece of comedy of manners, the characters of this play individually are so well sketched that can easily be called a comedy of characters instead of comedy of manners. Although we call this play as comedy of manners, a comedy which represents the manners of people, but he has given such interesting characters that we can even call it comedy of characters, because even characters are quite interesting and quite diverse. As far as proceeding of the plot of the comedy is concerned, characters dominate the scene. We cannot say that characters are simply there for the sake of scene. We see that scene becomes interesting because of characters, and these characters dominate many scenes. Events and subplots are not significant and important as these characters are. So, of course, there is a storyline, but storyline is not as important as characters are. It is rightly said that Congreve has exhibited a masterly approach in the art of characterization in The Way of the World. So we can agree with the statement that Congreve has given a masterly approach in portraying characters. Congreve has portrayed his characters with equal vitality. Vitality means energy, energy and enthusiasm. So he has given his characters with, he has filled his characters with energy and portrayed them with enthusiasm. When he presents his hero and heroine in The Way of the World, he is exceptionally brilliant. His hero and heroine, that are Mirabel and Millamant, occupy a distinct position in the play. For example, we can take the case of Mirabel and Millamant. Now, both of these characters are quite alive in their presentation. Both of them come before us as distinct characters. They represent the upper strata of the society. Of course, they are part of the upper classes. They never face the hard reality of the world and always spend a life full of mirth and comfort. Mirth means happiness. So they do not belong to the commoner strata of the society. They are part of the upper classes. It means they do not have to do hard work. We are not shown how they work, what is their profession, because since they belong to aristocratic society, so they do not have to indulge themselves in simple day-to-day activities of life. अब उन्हें घर का काम तो नहीं करना पड़ता ना, उन्हें रोजाना सवेरे उठकर तैयार होकर ट्रेन को तो नहीं कैच करना ना अपने ऑफिस जाने के लिए. वी आर नॉट शोन दैट. सो in The Way of the World, we find a unique style of the art of characterization. Almost all the characters of this play have got three partners. Then there are love intrigues in the play. Every character has more than one beloved or lover. Nobody is alone there. For instance, Mrs. Fenol is very much near to Mirabel. Even though Mirabel is now in love with Millamant, still Mrs. Fenol is quite close to him, although Millamant ultimately becomes Mirabel's life partner. Similarly, Mrs. Marwood has a companion in the form of Mr. Fenol. Mrs. Marwood has a lover, Mr. Fenol. On the other side, one can find Whitwood in the company of Petulant, and even Whitwood and Petulant are also very close to each other, despite their criticism of one another. Waitwell has his pair with Foible. Congreve projects his characters according to the demand of the scene. So it shows that the multiple affairs of the time are given a priority because Congreve felt that this was the unique trait of his own society, wherein a person had multiple affairs and extramarital affairs were quite common in the society. It certainly proves his mastermind approach in the art of characterization. As far as the control over his characters is concerned, Congreve is undisputedly marvelous. He controls his characters and handles them excellently. He handles his characterization in such a way that they look real. However, they are not very successful in carving out the defects of their age. So, Congreve is not very hard on the ethics and morals of the society. He's more concerned with what was happening instead of what should happen. So Congreve is no moralist. He doesn't judge his characters very harshly, or rather, he does not pass any judgment. He never says that Mirabel is immoral because he has affairs, multiple affairs, or even Mr. Fenol is bad because he has affairs. Mr. Fenol is the villain of the play not because he has multiple affairs or he is unfaithful to his wife, but because in his heart he is a greedy person. That Fenol wants to harm his wife financially, and he, you know, imbibes a sense of evil in his behavior towards Mrs. Lady Wishport also. So, most of the time, our playwright does not pass any judgment. He just simply shows people and leaves it on the audience to judge them. And the moral, means the sexual intrigues are not considered a weakness or drawback of the characters. Now or later on, when the Victorian age was there were very harsh judgments about Congreve's characters. But nowadays we think differently. We find Congreve's comedies are interesting and they of course give a slice of the time. So he does not talk about the weaknesses of his characters, rather shows them how to behave. Anyways, Congreve has proved his unique capability of artistic representation. In this play, Congreve is extremely terrific as far as his selection of the words is concerned, and the dialogues are quite brilliant. His characters speak those dialogues which accurately suit their personality. Now, dialogues are not randomly given to characters. What a person speaks tell us about his characteristics, his values, his ethics. Whatever he chooses to say reveals his traits. The characters such as Lady Wishport, Millamant, and Mirabell have been brilliantly presented by Congreve. They speak those dialogues which are typical of their nature and attitudes. As Mirabell observes about Lady Wishport, I think the good lady would marry anything that resembles a man. It's a very witty comment on Lady Wishport, and it brilliantly sums up Lady Wishport's character. How she is craving to get married again. How even at the age of 55, she is not fully satisfied with the pleasures of life. She wants to gain more. So that's why Mirabell sums up her character when he says that the lady is ready to marry anything which resembles a man. Means she is simply dying to marry. The characters of Petulant and Witwoud are brought out in their witty conversations. And since they are wits and they talk wittily, so their characters is also laid before us in their witty conversations. They speak in a most humorous manner because they have been presented in this comedy as folks, fashionable people. Witwoud remarks in a witty manner, friendship without freedom is as dull as love without enjoyment or wine without toasting. Another witty comment from Witwoud, who says, without freedom, friendship is as dull, as uninteresting as love without enjoyment or wine without toasting. You cannot enjoy wine without toasting it with your friends. You cannot enjoy your love if you are too rigid in your your enjoyment of love. And similarly, our friendship becomes valueless if there is no freedom between friends. Wit and humor are strengths of Congreve's art of characterization. When we go through the comedy, The Way of the World, we notice that Congreve has applied an extensive use of these elements. The comedy is full of wit and humor. Almost all the characters in the play are sparkling with wit and humor. They have sparkling wit and humor. Sparkling is something which is shining brilliantly. जो चमक रही है. Congreve is simply great where the exhibition of wit and humor is concerned. As far as the villain of the comedy is concerned, the name of Fenol comes first. So Fenol is the villain of the comedy. He is unsympathetic, he is hard-hearted, and only wants to fulfill his selfish desires. This is the reason that Congreve has appointed him as villain in the drama. That's why he has made him villain, because he is cruel, he is hard-hearted, he is without any sympathy for other people, he is self-centered person who wish to harm other people. In the play, The Way of the World, almost all the characters indulge in one or other conspiracy. There are many intrigues there. Shadyantra hai. Right from the hero to the maid servant, all are involved in intrigues and conspiracies. At least there are three intrigues which move simultaneously. Although Millamant is not directly indulged in any conspiracy, she knows everything. Even Millamant is part of these conspiracies. This is strength of Congreve's pen, that he has very successfully painted the picture of his age through his characterization. Congreve has very successfully portrayed both the round and flat type of characters. Although most of the characters which have been portrayed are of flat nature, but certainly the characters of Millamant and Mirabell, including Lady Wishport, are very much alive and full of vitality. Although certain characters like Whitwood and Petulant, they are representation of wits, which was a common type in Restoration Age. But characters like Mirabell, Millamant, and Lady Wishport, they fully come alive before us. They are invisual, of course. They are round characters. Thus, we can observe the masterly approach of Congreve's art of characterization. Congreve gives a realistic portrait of men and women of society of his times. Though there is unmistakable element of exaggeration, I think we have done it already. After thorough analysis, it can be said that Congreve is very efficient and sensible in handling his characters in display. Now we come to the conclusion of the question. We can agree with the observation that Congreve very sensibly and efficiently handles his characters. Although his characters are not universal, they are undoubtedly lively. So they are alive, they are throbbing with life and passion. So we cannot dismiss his characters as simply flat or types. We know that they are full of life, vitality, and they represent a particular time and a particular place during which people were like them. He has portrayed both kinds of characters with equal brilliance. Humor and wit are the special weapons of his characters, although some of them can be taken as absolutely flat characters. On the whole, Congreve is undoubtedly unparalleled in art of character. So our conclusion would be that although there are certain characters which are not fully developed, characters they do not become fully alive before the audience imagination, but there are certain other characters, major characters like Mrs. Lady Wishport and Mirabell, Millamant, who are brilliant portrayal of people of those times, and they are fully round character and fully developed characters. So on the whole, the playwright's art of characterization is part of his dramatic scheme, and he brilliantly gives expression to this art of characterization in this play, The Way of the World. This is how we will sum up this question, right?